Today I would like to show you how to make a very deep texture Teabowl. Usually when you're making the Teabowl, you want to try to put some texture on your Teabowl, and the texture is not going to be deep enough because you don't have the support on the inside for you to roll your texture. So I want to show you my way of getting the texture deep enough. So first you want to find some kind of a cardboard tube, and I personally play badminton, so I got lots of this kind of size shallow tube. So this is quite strong, and I think it's a good size for making a Teabowl. Okay, so first you want to find something like this, and then you want to wrap some newspaper on top of it. Okay, and my suggestion is you want to wrap 2 pieces of newspaper, so later on when you finish it's easier for you to pour out your tube because the 2 pieces of newspaper. Okay, so that's my trick for you. So if you're gonna roll a texture that is deep enough, make sure you have something to support while you're rolling it. So here I have already wrapped up 2 pieces of newspaper, so I'm gonna use this one to do the demo, and also using this MKM roller texture. The model number is RM041, MKM RM041. So I'm going to use that to show you how the texture look like after I make it a Teabowl. Okay. Before I started, maybe if you have a caliper, you could measure. Use that to give you some idea how thick when you are making your cylinder, making your clay cylinder, so that your tube is easier to insert it, but not too big or not too narrow. So I would say about maybe a 1/4 inch wider than the tube. Okay, so this will be the guide for how wide the clay cylinder should be. I'm going to throw up the hump, so the clay is not going to be this big. The Teabowl is not going to be very big. It's just focusing the top section here. So after I finish, I could cut it up and then make another one. This kind of method is mostly the production people. They don't bother to make a lot of a small ball of clay, so they just put the big chunk of clay and then put it on the wheel and just focus on this part here, center this part. And when I throw up the hump, I usually make my base, my foot, okay, a little bit narrow than the body, okay, so that after I finish cutting it, my finger can go underneath and will be easy for me to lift it up. So the other trick for you is that make the base a little bit smaller while you are throwing up the hump. Right, so it's been centered, so I'm going to open the hole. You can throw your cylinder a little bit taller, because once we have our texture done, we're going to stretch it, and when you stretch, it becomes lower, so you can make your initial straight cylinder a little bit taller. let's double check. So this is almost exactly the size on the rim, but my base might be a little bit too small, so I'm going to stretch it a little bit on the base. Okay. So everything looks fine. So I'm going to insert my cardboard cylinder with the newspaper in the center. Okay, and then you want to color in, compress it so your wall is fitting nicely on the cardboard on the tube, so that when you are using the roller, you will be able to compress enough, deep enough texture. So you want to make sure that it's tight. Okay, then I would use a wooden rib to remove all my throwing mark before I roll my texture. And even use the metal rib to remove some of the slip. Okay, so the surface is nice and clean, right? And then this is the texture that I'm going to roll on to the surface. I find out that if you dip it in the water, then the clay is not going to stick on the surface. So this is other trick for you, other tip for you, that put it in the water and wet it. Alright, so I'm going to roll, but you don't roll it all the way on the rim, okay? Because if you push too hard, the rim might get too thin. So once you move to the top, less pressure, and hold on, okay? Hold your hand on the cardboard tube so that you have a support. You don't push it away. So we can roll a little bit deeper. The water again. Okay, so there's a section here, so you have to find out how you evenly distribute the texture. So I should have 2 more rows, so I want to make sure it's evenly distributed. So now you can see that I roll that my texture on the surface that is very deep because of this. Okay, this is the trick, that you have something inside to support it. Right, so first thing I want to do is try to pull out the cardboard, this cardboard cylinder. pull out. And I told you that I had 2 layers of newspaper. I will pull out in the first layer, and then I'll try to find the newspaper. And just slowly roll it so that it's rolling away from the inside of the wall, and slowly pick up. So that's the trick for putting the cylinder. And then now I'm ready to stretch it. Since the newspaper inside already absorbs some of the slip and water, so the inside will be a little bit dry. So you could use a sponge to try to get it wet again and get it slippery again before I stretch it. And there's a little roughness inside. You won't be able to see it, but that's from the newspaper. So first thing I want to do is get the roughness off. So I will compress a little bit harder on the bottom corner, so the roughness will go away. And then I will just gradually stretch it out. So I have my index finger here to support it by the base while I'm stretching it. Okay, make sure the inside part is nice and smooth. And then just using, okay, this is the chamois. Actually I got it from last March. I got it from the conference, the clay conference, NCCA, and they give it away for for free, but put in their mark here. So, and I think it's very nice size. And you just lightly compress the rim. Okay, so you can see that after I stretch, I rolled it up straight, but after I stretch, you can see that it's there's a little movement of the texture, so it's going go slanted way. I'm ready to cut it off with my cotton string. Okay. This little bit, actually a little bit thicker. Yeah, you can get a thinner one. The thinner one might be better. So hold it like that and then stretch it and slowly insert my string right by the mug and let go of my left hand and pull with my right hand. Okay, and like I told you that the base is smaller, so my finger, okay, I call this scissor fingers. Just go underneath and just hold it right by the indent and pick it up. Okay, easy pick it up and without deforming. And you can see the texture. Okay, so that's the demo for today.